أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We continue our theme for this blessed month of Ramadan al-Kareem, توجيهات أخلاقية من التجارب اليومية, moral guidance from everyday experiences. We do know that Islam emphasizes good neighborliness and of course always concern for the well-being of those around us and the goodwill of those who are in our company. And the Prophet ﷺ in fact admonished in a hadith documented by Imam al-Bayhaqi, لَيْسَ الْمُؤْمِنِ الَّذِي يَجْبَعُ وَجَارُهُ جَائِعٌ إِلَى جَنْبِهِ. That person cannot be a believer whose stomach is full while the neighbor by his side goes hungry. I relate an incident that some say happened to one of the Salaf, one of the early Imams during his childhood, and Allah knows best. The Imam said, when I was little, my mother once gave me a small cup and told me to go to our neighbor who were fairly poor people struggling and said, go and ask them for some salt. I went to the neighbor, got some salt, brought it to my mother, and then I inquired from my mother why she was asking the neighbor for salt when we have salt at home. So the mother replied, my son, these people are really struggling in life, and therefore they often ask us for things. So I thought, let me ask them something small and simple, which will not burden them, but at the same time make them feel that we also are asking them for something, that we also need them, so that it may be easier for them when they ask, not to feel belittled, because we also ask for them. You see, when we think of charity, we contemplate compassion. Compassion towards others, irrespective of their faith. And that is manifested through generosity of spirit and of service. Charity is not only in money. You can have not a single cent and be still the most charitable person. كُلُّ سُلَامَ مِنَ النَّاسِ عَلَيْهِ صَدَقَةٌ. The Rasul said, every limb of your body can do charity, can perform charity. Saying a kind word is charity. تَبَسُّمْ عَلَى وَجْهِ أَخِيكَ صَدَقَةٌ. Smiling at someone, saying a kind word to someone, removing something harmful from the road, that's charity. So we find that generosity can be manifested in ways other than purely giving of money itself. But in all of that, whether we give money, whether we assist the person, it's very important to maintain the respect for the person in need. Therefore, even when you give something, وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَ وَلَسْتُمْ بِآخِذِي إِلَّا أَن تُغْمِضُوا فِيهِ. Allah says, when you give something, don't give something which you yourself will not accept. Don't give food, it's already rotten, it's smelling bad, you won't eat it, now you give it to someone as charity. That's not charity. Would you eat it? So why are you giving it to someone else? So be very cautious how sometimes we misconstrue charity. As a matter of fact, so significant is this notion of trying to help other people that the Rasul ﷺ, in a very well documented hadith in Sahih of Imam Muslim said, وَاللَّهُ فِي عَوْنِ الْعَبْدِ مَا كَانَ الْعَبْدُ فِي عَوْنِ أَخِيهِ. Allah is at the service of that person as long as that person is of service to other people. For our own interest, I want to bring a point to our attention. The act of doing good for others triggers what they call the mesolimbic system, and is recognized within our body for its central role in motivated behaviors. Is the portion of the brain responsible for the feeling of rewards. Studies show that the brain releases dopamine and other feel-good chemicals, what they call, when one does an act of generosity. A phenomenon the psychologists called helper high. It consists of positive emotions following selfless service to others, and it is psychologically associated with a state of euphoria. You feel good about it. Feeling good, doing good, the sign of a Muslim. The Rasul said, إِذَا سَرَّتْكَ حَسَنَتُكَ وَسَاءَتْكَ سَيِّئَتُكَ فَأَنْتَ مُؤْمِنٌ. When you do wrong and you feel bad that you've done the wrong, and when you do good, you feel good doing the good, it's a sign that you're a believer. Acts of generosity have thus been found to boost a person's overall well-being, while the increased feeling of social connectedness by helping another person also increases at a personal level one's self-esteem, but more importantly, it becomes a source of motivating ourselves for greater generosity and for more good. We should realize that ultimately, as we live our life, ultimately the treasured moments of life are best measured. How do we measure the treasured moments in our life? Are those measured by the occasions we spent sharing our love in our homes and beyond, helping others around us, uplifting them, consoling them, sharing wisdom, inspiring hope, showing love, wiping tears, bringing smiles, touching hearts, and in this case, even by sharing some salt. The primary lesson we deduce from all of this is that being generous is always good. But nobility in generosity. You know, a person can give and you can give and hurt. That's why the Quran says, لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى. Don't be like those who give charity and then remind people of your charity, of your generosity, and then belittle them in that process. Then the Rasul, the Quran says, قَوْلٌ مَعْرُوفٌ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ يَتْبَعُهَا أَذًى. Rather say a kind word, say something nice, than to give someone something and then belittle them and humiliate them with your charity. So the primary lesson we deduce from all of this is that being generous is always good, but nobility in generosity is manifested in how we maintain the dignity of the recipient, the dignity of the one whom we're helping. And I leave you with the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadith documented in the Sunan of Ibn Majah. Rasulullah said, أحسن جوار من جاورك تكن مسلما وحب للناس ما تحب لنفسك تكن مؤمنا. Prophet said so beautifully, be good to your neighbors, and that's a sign that you're a true Muslim. Doesn't matter if the neighbor is Muslim or not. Be good to your neighbors, and that's a sign that you're a true Muslim. And if you love for people what you love for yourself, that is a sign that you are a mu'min. May Allah grant us to be of the Muslimin and the mu'minin, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.